Straight ahead on 12 News, city council candidates take up issues of equity and image. Then, good news for outdoor workers, finally a break in the heat. But first, opinions are aired about proposed redevelopment at Robbinsdale's Terrace Mall, with a recommendation to move ahead. 12 News starts right now. Hello and thanks for joining us. The future of Robbinsdale's Terrace Mall became more clear on Thursday night.
The Robbinsdale Planning Commission voted to recommend a redevelopment plan that includes a Hy-Vee grocery store. And as Delane Cleveland explains, there were strong opinions for and against.
The main thing on this agenda is a public hearing for the proposed redevelopment of 3501 France Avenue North.
Thursday night, dozens packed into Robbinsdale City Hall to learn more about plans for the Terrace Mall site.
Inland and its partners have been working on this site for about a year and a half.
In that year and a half, developers say they discovered soil contamination on the site near County Road 81.
It is a very difficult area to put buildings on. It's frankly a very costly area to put buildings on.
So the question became, what should they do with the existing properties?
We've looked at a multiple of land uses associated with this site. We actually started with multifamily.
Other ideas included office space and a community event center. Ultimately, they settled on partnering with Hy-Vee.
We're here with a retail proposal for a grocery store.
Hy-Vee officials laid out their plans for the site, but that proposal is what brought people to City Hall to weigh in.
We do appreciate Hy-Vee's interest, but if there's any way to incorporate the terrace, or at least the feel to keep it in our hometown, because once it's gone, it's gone.
Keeping the Terrace Theater was a popular sentiment. There were also plenty of people who shared their opinions about what Hy-Vee would do to Robbinsdale's small businesses.
These owners don't know what they're up against. If they get everything that they want, including a liquor store, all at one place, why would you go anywhere else? Doesn't make any sense.
And there were also those who welcomed the Hy-Vee proposal.
We need a grocery store. Robbinsdale does not have one grocery store.
I really would like to see this corner developed into something that I think is a sure thing.
Whether Hy-Vee is a sure thing remains to be seen, but the one certainty out of this meeting is that the plan now goes to the full City Council. In Robbinsdale, Delane Cleveland, 12 News.
And the City Council will consider the recommendation of the Planning Commission on August 1st. City officials would also have to approve tax increment financing as well as demolition of the current structures at a later date.
Candidates for Brooklyn Park City Council addressed issues of inequity at a forum Thursday night. The three candidates in Brooklyn Park's East District described how they would address the disparity in unemployment rates in the city.
We have areas in the city of Brooklyn Park where we've been identified, or those communities have been identified as being an area of isolated concentrations of poverty. I want to ensure, with the work that I do, that we can create real policies that are going to have change that is going to make a difference for communities and for families.
Actually mentoring them, giving them the skills that they're going to need to get a decent job. I think it's a community thing. It's also, we can, at Brooklyn Park, at the city council level, we can help them get to the businesses to that point where they can get internships.
I believe we have to worry as a city council about everyone in Brooklyn Park, every nook and cranny of our city, from the apartment community. I want to do away with the kind of north and south borders, and really concentrate on making sure that there are opportunities for all.
Also, voters in Brooklyn Center will elect 2 council members this fall. There are 6 candidates running for the seats, and minorities actually make up the majority of Brooklyn Center's population. So it's no surprise that in a candidate forum, questions revolved around race and reaching out to the diverse groups who call the city home.
The most important thing that we can all do as citizens and as humans is to recognize that we're all humans and citizens and treat each other with fairness and with equality.
I think the biggest thing is having open dialogue. Everyone's coming from different point of view, so I think it's this for the city to provide a community space to have open dialogue to see what are their concerns.
Within race, there is far more than black or white. It is community and culture. Integrity, sincerity, consistency, and perseverance is what I bring, and a lot of experience.
I look forward to knowing, finding out about what makes this city tick. Working with the folks in the community, listening to the folks in the community.
With me, community is an action word. As a mediator, I believe in dialogue. And dialogue means belly to belly, knee to knee, having conversations with people to understand where they're coming from.
Incumbent Chris Lawrence Anderson is also on the ballot for City Council. Brooklyn Center voters will narrow the field down to 4 candidates in the primary election on August 9th.
The Robbinsdale community is rallying to help a man in a wheelchair who was robbed. On Monday night, David Vogely was passing by Robbinsdale City Hall when 3 teenagers jumped out and stole his expensive set of headphones and an iPhone 6.
He went and parked his bike at the Dollar Tree, and then he ran past me, and then I rolled by him, and then he just quickly snatched my headphones off my head and said, "Give me that," and then took off running and handed it to the other 2 dudes.
Some people in Robbinsdale heard about the robbery via Facebook, and soon a donation was started for David. They put a donation envelope posted inside the mobile gas station off of Highway 81.
Oh, it felt terrible. I would hate to have anything that happen to any family member, let alone being in a wheelchair, unable to defend yourself.
2 of the teenagers have been caught. If you have any information, you're urged to call Robbinsdale Police.
A 9-year-old girl from Dayton is in the spotlight during the Schwann's USA Cup. Reagan Weirman was named one of the faces of the Cup. Organizers of the tournament say in the face of adversity, she played her heart out every game. Reagan has Crohn's disease, which affects the digestive system. She's not able to eat all the time and is fed through a tube. But she doesn't let her condition stop her from playing soccer or really doing anything else. She wants to encourage others to do the same.
I don't like to have that interfere with my life. So I try to act as normal as I can. I want them to know that even though that they're going through like something tough, that they can get through it.
Reagan plays for the Raiders 9 and under team. They had 4 tournament games and she participated in all of them. But coming up, finally a break in the heat. We'll hear from someone who deals with that every day.
And then a little bit later in sports, Wayzata scores and scores in the Sub-State Legion baseball playoffs.
But first, it's your AccuWeather forecast. It is a bit of relief for outdoor workers now that a 3-day heat wave is finally easing off.
Everybody dealt with it in a different way, but as Eric Nelson reports, for some, there is just no escaping it.
Not everyone can escape this sauna-like heat.
A lot of walking.
Ken Jamboyce delivers mail for the U.S. Postal Service.
Oh, you're prepared for it.
And has been sweating all week on his route through Brooklyn Center.
Today, probably over 26,000 steps. Today, 8 miles I'll walk on my route.
Jamboyce delivers to 33 blocks.
Just stay on top of it.
And keeps the beat despite the heat. According to Jamboyce, the biggest key to surviving this scorching heat is drinking lots of water. It's all about hydration, hydration, hydration.
Drink a lot of water, small snacks. Just drink a lot of water. You know, we got extra water at work if we need it. We got sunscreen at work.
Jamboyce knows that bad things can happen if you don't stay hydrated.
If you don't drink a lot of water, you're going to get dehydrated, and who knows what's going to happen after that.
Jamboyce takes this heat in stride and takes pride in delivering the mail under a blazing sun.
We're proud carriers. We enjoy our job. It's hard work, but we enjoy our customers.
Minnesota, of course, is the land of 10,000 weather extremes. But as hot as this week has been, Jamboyce likes toting the mail in July better than January.
I'd rather have the heat than the January because that's a lot more deadly. This is deadly too, but you had it's easier to prepare for something like this than the cold weather. So,
in Brooklyn Center, I'm Eric Nelson, Channel 12 News.
And on top of the heat, there is an air pollution alert through this evening. Sunny skies and the heat are combining to increase ground level ozone. That's considered unhealthy for sensitive groups like elderly people with respiratory or heart conditions. It can cause shortness of breath, coughing, and a sore throat. Well, cartoon characters are stepping off the page in New Hope. That's coming up.
But first, Osseo is moving on in the Legion Baseball playoffs. John Jacobson has that up next in sports.
Well, John is just back from a rather warm baseball game, and the weather wasn't the only thing that's warm. I heard the bats are heating up a little bit.
Osseo doing it all, yeah. Pitching well, hitting well, and getting it done, moving on to another round. State tournament qualifiers in American Legion Baseball will be determined this weekend. Osseo Post 172 was looking for their second straight win in the Sub-State 11 tournament when they met Rogers Friday afternoon. Top of the first inning, Osseo starting pitcher John Bezdacek gets a strikeout to end the frame. It's a familiar sight in this one. Bottom of one, Osseo's Cameron Perna at the plate, and he hits one deep to the left field corner. This one caroms off the top of the fence. It originally ruled a double, but the umpires conferred and said the ball hit the yellow piping on top of the fence, so Perna's credited with a 2-run homer. Osseo leads 2-0 after one. Third inning, after an Adam Lanner sacrifice fly made it 3-0, Matt Bezdacek with a single to left field. Taylor Bader scores, and it's 4-0 Osseo through 3. Rogers gets a run on the board in the 6th inning, and they load the bases. But John Bezdacek with another strikeout here. He fans 14 Rogers batters in the game, going all 9 innings. Osseo wins 5-1. The Sub-State 11 final is scheduled for Sunday afternoon at Osseo. After making quick work of Minneapolis Southwest in the first round of the Sub-State 4 tournament, defending State Legion champion Wayzata looked to go 2-0 Thursday when they met St. Louis Park. Bases loaded for Wayzata in the first inning, and they saw a lot of that on the evening. Cody Getters changes it with a drive to the gap here in right center field. Jake Marsh and Griffin Schneider both score, and it's 3-0 Wayzata. Still in the first inning, Parker Lavacek with a ball hit hard into the hole on the right side. Good hustle by Jared Briol as he follows from second base. Eric Stolt in ahead of him. Wayzata up 6-0 after one. They added 1 run in the second, and then another big inning in the third. Cam Keenan hitting a ball to left center to score 2 more. Briol and Danny Dice are in, and it's 9-0 Wayzata. Schneider picks up 2 RBIs of his own on this deep drive to right center field. 2 more runs in. Wayzata scoring early and often. It's 11-0 there. Starting pitcher Brendan Brody makes it look easy too, keeping Park off the board, getting a strikeout to end the top of the 4th. Wayzata added 9 more runs in the 5th inning. They win at 24-0 in 7. They're playing Hopkins Friday night at 7 at Veterans Field in Minnetonka. Well, the chance to play one of the many international teams playing at USA Cup is a special experience for a lot of local clubs. In the boys under 15 division, the Minnesota Twin Stars Academy team based in Maple Grove facing La Herradura from Mexico. La Herradura in black, a great corner kick there. Santiago Ramirez headed and it's Yulin Turin with the goal, and it's 2-0 in the first half. Twin Stars Academy gets a penalty kick. Jonathan Santiago Lopez making no mistake, and it's a 2-1 game. Later in the first half, TSA's Osvaldo Vega Ortiz showing good speed, gets around the defender. La Herradura goalie Diego Videra makes a great stop and keeps it 2-1 at halftime. TSA gets the only tally of the second half, and it's a nice goal. Benjamin Border with the free kick to the far side. Comes to Maxim Lagoon. His shot redirected in by Ortiz for the tying goal, and that's the way this one ends, a 2-2 draw. Age group playoffs are underway now with the tournament wrapping up Saturday. Many of Thursday's pool play games at USA Cup were moved out of the hot sun of the afternoon to the slightly less heat that greeted teams for matches in the evening. 15 girls gold division, the Northwest Kickers took on Cheyenne, Wyoming. The Sting team, and the Sting attacking right from the opening kickoff. Erica Seitz, though, with a nice save for the Kickers. Cheyenne breaks through later in the half. Sydney Miller with the goal to make it 1-0. And then in the second half, a good crossing pass by the Sting comes to Reagan Downham, who scores. Kickers lose 3-0. Teams are completing now in the age bracket playoffs. Boys under 17 gold. The Fusion Soccer Club from Plymouth Wayzata striking first against Shakopee. Tanner Hofar winning the battle for the ball, scores with the left foot here to make it 1-0. Shakopee ties it just before halftime, and then late in the second half, Dario Balsietta scores a nice goal, and that's the game winner. Fusion loses this one by a score of 2-1. And that is a look at sports for today.
Okay, thanks a lot, John. Still ahead, Charlie Brown and Lucy come to town.
We will take a look in Weekend Showcase. That's coming up next. It is summer, and that, of course, is the season for outdoor theater. New Hope is teaming up with Off-Broadway Musical Theater to bring Charlie Brown to town.
And Neil Persley has more in our Weekend Showcase.
It's always fun for me to see characters that are so well loved put into a real life scenario.
And that's just what Michael Wesley and the whole cast do in You're a Good Man, Charlie Brown.
I watched a lot of the cartoons and read a lot of the comic strips and just kind of looked at how Charlie Brown, you know, stands and what he does with his hands and all that kind of stuff.
I think that Charlie Brown is a representative of self-acceptance. Like an everyman leads us into that direction, that by the end of the musical he comes to better self-acceptance.
For me, the play was just pure fun. It was like watching a series of comic sketches pulled off the page and performed by the characters come to life.
Sturdy roof beneath my head, not bad at all.
Marley Ritchie will be a senior this year at Cooper High and does a great job of playing the lovable Snoopy.
Snoopy is a very different dog. He likes to hang out with the kids, but likes his personal time. And the only thing he thinks about all day is supper time.
Why is it I always have my supper in my red dish and my drinking water in my blue dish? One of these days, I'm going to have my supper in my blue dish and my drinking water in my red dish. Life's just too short not to live it up a little.
Charlie Brown, Snoopy, Linus, Lucy, Sally, Schroeder, Peppermint Patty, Violet, Pigpen, and all the rest. They're all here for you to come and spend an evening with. From New Hope for Weekend Showcase, I'm Neil Persley, 12 News.
You're a Good Man, Charlie Brown runs Thursdays, Fridays, and Saturdays now through August 6th. That's a classic.
It is.
Fun one
They have
to
a lot
watch.
of fun, and it's a neat venue, the New
Yes,
Hope Outdoor Theater.
Theater.
And now that it's cooled off a touch,
Good time to go.
It's perfect.
That does it for us. Thanks so much for joining us.
And we will see you back here again Monday starting at 4. Have a great weekend, everyone.